Finally, tonight on InfoWars Nightly News, she spent the last 5 days with us down here in Austin, Texas, visiting us from Cleveland, Ohio. She's Michelle Dougherty, a.k.a. the Obama phone lady, and she's here with us as we tried to, get her idea on what the American dream really stands for. And Michelle, what is the American dream?
The American dream is to push away from the government. Get out and get you I got a bank account. I'm on the right track in case I get my checks. I don't have to pay, those crooked people 6 or 7 or 10, 20 bucks to cash my check.
Michelle, there's been a saying out there for a long time, and we call them cliches because they're so true. Right. The more things change, the more they stay the same. There's nothing new under the sun. Power corrupts absolutely. You don't want to go out and catch fish for somebody. You want to teach a man or a woman how to fish.
Right.
And there's a lot you could teach me, a lot I could teach you, but the system, the political system that wants people domesticated under their control, they want to give you fish to run your life, not teach you how to go out and catch the fish yourselves.
Right. You're absolutely right, because the way I was taught to go out and catch the fish myself, I got a little grips on it now. I don't have to be waiting on something to come that might come or not come, and on the government, they cut everything, so you don't know if it's gonna come or it's not gonna come, so it's best to be independent with your own job, with things to go, to get a bank account, to withdraw money when you need it, not just waiting on the once in a month, or like, what I was going through was a battle was when I get ready to get the little check, I gotta run around to cash it. You know what I'm saying? Pay these people $12 or $13 to take out my $150. Just crazy stuff that the system have caught me up in so much of that, Well, I did not know. They didn't teach you them kind of things. You had to go to the Walmart or the Goodwill to put on. Now, when you got a nice outfit on, you can talk clear, you can look better. You know what I'm saying? That's the feeling I got. I don't have to depend on government or waiting on to get a check to go for an interview that's next month.
What we wanted to do was just to show the viewers out there and people that are unaware who may have been better off where they were born or how they were brought up with their opportunities, to understand that the poorest working Americans are being preyed on by these payday loans and these places that take huge percentages of your check just to cash them, when that check they're cashing is guaranteed and it's all computerized and they know the money's good. To go out and show people.
Like a scam. They pimping us. They pimp you like that.
Exactly. Show people how easy it is to get a bank account, how easy it is to go out and get some decent clothes inexpensively, how easy it is to try to, go out and basically start over from square one to try to get out of the system. Because the goal is get out of the system. The establishment wants us institutionalized so that we're under their control.
Went from my Obama phone to a new Galaxy. Well, Obama, thanks for letting me use this phone for them couple years. I'll stick a fork in it. It's a done deal.
You've been busy the last few days. I've been in there doing the radio show. I know some of my reporters and writers like Anthony Gucciardi, have kind of taken you around town to try to get you out of the clutches of the system. Were they successful? How'd it go?
Oh, it was beautiful. I was able to go swimming.
And tell me about your trip to Barton Springs.
Oh, I loved it. It was a really experience for a person have never been out to something like that.
Wow.
I've never seen a big pond like that. And it only costs $3 and $4, and I could have stayed all day.
You'd be a great sales lady. I heard folks love the Obama phone lady.
Oh, yeah. I'll sell your phone. No more Obama phone. You can get this one for a little small price.
Exactly. It works a lot better, huh?
Lot better.
It doesn't go to the Mexican billionaire Carlos Slim.
I'm here to turn in this old Obama phone for a new one. After all this time, I'm upgrading. No more Obama phone. In my eyes, it's like, the government have control of you when you're, you put your name and you stay at the welfare building 4, 5, 6 hours a day, once a month, or whenever they tell you to come. My goal was to get off all of that stuff, Got me a bank account now. I'm going to further my goal in getting a better job now. you know, it weaned me off. It let me see that I don't have to depend on the government for the check. It's not gonna make it, you know, if I get it, if I don't need it anymore, you know. I haven't been getting it in 36 months, and you said you were gonna give us back those checks if you got a kid under 18, and it haven't did it. So, I mean, you know, it was real rough, but now I see the real world where I can get out and get a better job. It's like you labeled, you know, my name is Michelle, I get such amount a month, I get such amount in food stamps. It's like he pimped us, because, you know, now that he said he was gonna do things and he didn't do things, you know, what you gonna do? Wait on him to make it go through where you're gonna get the money, or you're gonna get a check if you got kids under 18? You can't rely on that. You have to, a little bit, go out and get it yourself, you know? You have to give up something to get something. So I gave up a few things that I used to do, I don't do anymore, and this is what God blessed me. This is what I did on my own to get it.
My goal in talking to you over the last 2 years or so, Michelle, was to try to get you to just at least see things from my angle a little bit about how prosperous people were comparatively, whether they be poor whites or blacks, before the big welfare society came in that sold itself as a panacea that was going to save everybody and create a utopia, but it's really done the opposite. It's created dependency. It's created rot in this country. It's created groups of people that would politically go along with anything because they saw their fate not governed by themselves, but by the state.
Right.
And, I mean, that sounds like 1984 to me.
Well, you know, it's been going on for a while because, you know, I have a son that's 25 and 23, and, you know, now with the younger kids, it's been really a rough time with the little kids. You know, my little kids that I have now been back in the day, and, you know, I'm not saying it was Clinton or Obama, but, you know, when you work for a man and he say what he's gonna do, you respect him supposed to do what you say you're gonna do in a couple years, 4 years, 5 years, whatever it is. You know, and most of the black low minority are people that help you get in to be a president. You know, we still hanging on like you pimped us and didn't do anything. We're waiting. But the rich folks, unquote, unquote, they're just smooth selling with whatever you do. So don't get caught up in that.
Well, Obama gave giant tax breaks to thousands of companies who promoted Obamacare but wanted to be exempt from it. So if a McDonald's doesn't have to give health care to their employees, what does that do to the other hamburger place that can't afford to do it?
No one gets it, does it?
It puts them out of business.
Right.
Or if Warren Buffett's the biggest recipient of the banker bailout money, why would he be lobbying for higher taxes then? Because he gets the tax money.
Right, he gets some percentage out of it or something?
Basically.
Yeah.
The ultra-rich are against the new money and the recent
they
wealthy.
already said, you know, just like some millionaires or people with money, for instance, that's living, they're said they really, a lot of rich people to me that wasn't even on Obama. You know, I really believe that when Obama won, by his color and the person and his background, a lot of black, low, minority, poor people got him in there. You know, because we thought he was going to do more or do better than the way we were living. You know, and I wondered, you know, why you haven't seen none of this, or why he didn't do nothing to try to help some of these people, save us. I mean, not save us, but, you know, you got to be like me. You got to get out, get independent, you know, dress up and fight. It's like a war out here in life. You know, when you go for an interview, you got 20 people at the same interview. Which gonna catch your eye? You know what I'm saying?
Take Martin Luther King, and we'll play a clip of him in one of his famous speeches talking about judge people on the character of their deeds, not on the color of their skin.
I have a dream. My 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
But it seems like under Obama, we've seen that go full circle, where now it's all about he's black, so black folks vote for him, and then Hispanics are supposed to only vote for people that are Hispanic, and then whites are supposed to only vote for people that are whites. I would vote for anybody that wanted to promote liberty, stop the NSA spying, restore the Second Amendment, restore sovereignty. I really care about what people believe and what they stand for. That's what I'm looking for. It's like a musician. If a musician is white and plays the drums, great, I love them. If they're black and play the drums, great, I love them. I don't care what color they are. If they play the guitar good, or they sing good like Marvin Gaye, or they sing good,
like Teddy Pendergrass,
absolutely, or George Jones, or anybody, or Waylon Jennings, or I mean, it's all about resonating with that individual and what they stand for.
Right. You haven't did too much for me.
A lot of people during the first campaign in 2008 would say, I'm not going to pay for gas. I'm going to have to pay for a house.
All that stuff went up.
You're going to give it all to me. And he wouldn't say, no, no, no. He would go along with that.
But he didn't.
But how does he give somebody a house or a car without taking it from somebody else, Michelle? I mean, George Soros did get most of his money through fraud and scams.
Right.
And Nazi collaborating to begin with. But I wouldn't even want to take all his money and redistribute it because it would set the precedent to take good people's money and redistribute it. It's so dangerous.
Right.
And I've
gotta watch it. Gotta watch it.
I've had friends and family who had their little house, nothing fancy, taken by the IRS, claiming they hadn't paid everything. To then redistribute it. And not to redistribute it to actually teach somebody how to fish, but to give somebody fish so that you would vote for them. They're using our system of voting against us. Michelle, Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, they all had a saying back in 1776. Pure democracy is two wolves and a sheep voting on what's for dinner. So there's two wolves and a sheep. Who's going to be for dinner?
Sheep.
Exactly. The two wolves are going to vote to eat the sheep. Now, the elite don't have a lot of people. So they play class warfare off with the poor people against the middle class. So you get the poor people with the ultra-rich taking down the middle class that actually keeps the economy going and that hires the poor people and that buys the things and is a ladder up for the poor people. Historically, it's a fact. And historically, elites want to shut down middle classes because that's their enemy. Once they've got a giant poor mass, there's no ladder up. They control everybody. That's why you've got all the big billionaires, almost all of them, but a few, giving money for socialism, giving money for big government, not to make you free and empower you, but to just give you enough to just shut up
and get out the way.
Get out of the way.
Right. That's exactly what they did.
And see, I don't want that, Michelle.
Me neither.
I don't want to live in a country where 51% are bought off by the government and elite groups to enslave the other 49. We're in a limited democracy, a republic. We're sure the majority votes for who we want in office, but they can't spy on us illegally. They can't take our guns. They can't take our kids without due process. They can't enslave us. They can't get rid of our sovereignty. So that's what a republic is. A republic is a limited democracy where everybody's right is protected. And we never truly fulfilled the ideas of the republic because you'd have 95% voting to enslave the 5% that were black.
Right.
Was that right?
No.
Was it right to have 95% voting to enslave the other group?
No, that was not right.
Well, then today we have a more modern form of it where 51% vote to take the money of somebody else. But see, the big guys are never going to get caught like that. They're offshore tax exempt, UN diplomatic immunity. They're not paying zero in most cases. Max 3%. Guess how much I pay?
Probably high tax.
40% federal. Not counting all the dozens of other tax, I pay close to 70%. 68% my accountant says in taxes. Imagine if I had more of that money. I wouldn't just have a bigger house, nicer things, more crew, and fund the economy. I would have more people working here. I would have more reporters. I would have more money. But it's got to go to the government, and then they decide where to spend it.
Right.
Not the viewers. See, in a free, open society, people vote with their dollars of what the food they want, of the clothes they want, of the media they like or think is informative. And so you get real diversity in ideas. That's a true renaissance. But when government controls it, it only goes to select groups like Carlos Slim for the Obama phones or to the big insurance companies that wrote Obamacare to raise payroll taxes on poor people. I mean, what is your view? How do you see Obama going down in history? Because it's, for me, it's not just about bashing Obama because it's fun to do. I called for Bush's impeachment for the Iraq War and a lot more. It's about realizing he's the corporate front man. He's the pitch man
Right. He's able
for a
to do
fraud to con a bunch of people. Could John McCain or Mitt Romney have gotten this many cons through against minority groups as Obama got?
No. I don't think so. I don't think Romney would have got that many.
I agree with you. So now
he was out for the rich.
So do you see the genius of Obama?
Yeah, no. I don't see no genius of no Obama.
Well, no, that's why Wall Street gave him more money than Romney.
Right, because he won, right?
Well, because they knew he could game people more,
Right.
and he could get their agenda through.
Right.
You think the elite really care one way or the other what color the president is?
No.
These people are bringing down countries. These people are shipping the narcotics in. These people are laundering the money. These people rule the planet because they're scam artists. And the minute we wake up to that larger scam, Michelle, it's game over.
It's over. So now it's over for Obama, right?
Well, he'll leave, they'll bring in another puppet, and then they'll rehabilitate him.
Oh, that's what it do. It go on and on and on. But when are they gonna stop that?
I'm sure you went to a magic show when you were a kid.
Yeah.
And you were 5, 6 years old. You really thought he was pulling the rabbit out, didn't you?
Right.
I did.
I did.
But what about later when somebody told you, no, there's really a trap door in the hat,
And it go up under.
and there's a
Wow.
rabbit.
That was the same way you told me too.
Once we stop debating whether the rabbit's racist or whether the magician's racist or whether the magician's having sex with his assistant, that's all the big fake smoke and mirrors. Once we realize it's all a fraud, now we understand the trick.
All right.
And my job is to get you and others to see the trick.
I see it.
It's fun to laugh at ourselves, get up, dust off,
And keep it moving. At
And
least you know the right.
fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And that's what it comes down to. And none of us have got it all. We're all
Right.
learning more and more as it goes.
True.
But I would like nothing more than to see all the people out there in America come together and realize the corporate welfare is what's really going on. And that's why the corporate welfare people want the general public on welfare, because then if you're getting a crumb, they can get the whole buffet.
Right.
See, they're getting the whole buffet, and we're saying, hey, middle class is saying, you don't need that buffet. We shouldn't have to pay for it. And they go, oh, yeah? We're going to give some scraps to these people.
Right.
You're going to vote for us to get the buffet, right?
That's how it goes.
So you guys get a crumb, veterans get a crumb, but meanwhile, the big banks
pigs
run the whole
get
show.
Run it all. We didn't get nothing. Even with the medical care. That's what I want to do, though. Some people got it and some people didn't. You know, like you said, all the people without medical, he's going to make sure they got medical. I know some people today, they still don't have it, you know? But I bet them big shots and all them people around, like you say, the big nursing homes, the stores, the big Macy's and all, I bet they all got what they got for their workers.
Well, here's how it works. Just like you've never been able to really get a bank account, we were finally able to help you do that by showing you how to jump through a few hoops.
Yes.
And then they used to make you run around town to all these pay loan places.
They told me I was on check pace. But the lady said, check pace, we're gonna cross that out. She told me.
So see, those are the real forms of economic discrimination.
You went all the way around to get me a bank account, to open a bank account.
And so we jumped through the hoops, we got you the bank account now, that's the beginning of building your credit, the beginning of getting off the economic plantation.
Economic plantation.
And that's really what it's all about, is gaming black, white, Hispanic, they don't care. And it's the same way with the corporate welfare. You can give on average a couple $1,000s to a House or Senate member, and you can get hundreds of thousands back in government contracts, loans, loan guarantees, bailouts. You give $1 million, you might get $1 billion back.
Right.
So see,
the more you put in, the more you get back.
That's the issue, and so we become a mafia-based economy.
That's bad. That's bad business, man. They got to do something about that. They frame you to get you somewhere, you know, and then just let you lay out there like that.
Did you know Obama's supporters are some of the biggest slumlords in America?
I believe you. Just like I go to church, some of the people at church, they're on property, and people tell me they're the biggest slumlords there is. I really believe that. Because I believe the people that got everything, what they care about us down here that's suffering or don't have anything. You know, back in the day, you help me, I help you. Now, as you stick a fork in it, I'll stick one right after you, you know, whatever it is, you know?
That's right. We're becoming a very barbarous society, and elites that stop caring about the general public and who go to a purely corrupt system always have planted the seeds of their own destruction. And we're not going to have to wait for these seeds to grow. They've already grown.
And they out of hand.
Into a thicket of corruption.
Right.
And Judgment Day is coming.
You know what it is. You know what you got facing. You know what you didn't do, what you said you was going to do. Now you there. What can you do?
Well, what they're doing is bringing in a whole nother group of people they can con one more time.
Right.
All the poor illegals.
They ain't going to give me no more.
Who see all the TV shows and think everybody's got yachts and Mercedes. They're trying to suck them in here to be the new political dependent class. That's why it's so important for people to have a paradigm shift and hold the Republicans' feet to the fire as well with all their corporate welfare and the fact that they helped write Obamacare. We need to purge the entire ruling political class, not just the Democrats.
Right, especially when not just the Democrats did it, the Republican did too, right?
They're all at the top working together.
All in it together. You're right.
Michelle, anything else you want to add to Non Nightly News?
I really enjoy being on Infowars.com. It really gives me a good ideal of life on life terms, you know, and taking it, not depending on government things, like getting out, getting something for yourself. You know, that's what I really, Infowars.com showed me what to do.
Well, that's awesome. It's been a pleasure having you here. You're a real sweetheart.
No more Obama phone. No more Obama phone. I have a GXX. Here I am again, Obama phone lady. What we need is people to teach us how to fish and not to give us fish. Teach us how to fish. And you're going to do more because you're going to be independent on your own self, not the president. Plus, catching your own fish and running your own life is very fun. Now, I'll see you soon, Obama phone lady.
Well, that's what it's all about here at Infowars.com, the nightly news. I want to say great job to the crew and Darren McBreen that hosted most of the news tonight, and to Obama phone lady and everybody else out there that's trying to be more free and independent. Alex Jones signing off for Infowars.com.
Obama phone lady, goodbye, everybody. All right,
awesome,
bye-bye.
You've experienced and heard about the benefits of Super Male Vitality. Now, the new formula has arrived. Introducing the new Super Female Vitality. I have specifically designed this formula to help the body naturally regulate itself without the use of artificial hormones. Key ingredients chosen from the highest quality sources. Secure your Super Female Vitality today from our limited stock at InfoWarsLife.com.
You are watching the InfoWars Nightly News, which airs 7 p.m. Central at InfoWarsNews.com. Members can share their passcodes with up to 11 other people, and your support is helping us defend liberty worldwide.